What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode and another week of the What the Puck podcast. I'm Nick. That's Gunk. Gunk, we are back. We have NHL hockey games to talk about again, and we're going to talk about them. But first, let's talk about it. We ended the show with it last week. It was a main focal point of the show last week. Rough game. Rough
Rough
game.
game.
We're going to come out and just say rough game.
Rough game, but it was very entertaining though. You got to admit it was very entertaining to watch.
Yes, it was a very high intensity, high event game. I should have went to bed. I was debating it. It was 2-1. It was 2-1. I was ready. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired. I should just go to bed now. And I was like, no, push through. And I shouldn't have.
I understand. Oh yeah, that game was late. So I was like I said, I had set up a little thing at work, and I had my little phone, and I was kind of acting like I was working. So you got to.
I don't know why the game needed to be at 8. I don't know why the game needed to be at 8.
I guess they want the prime time. I mean, they could have. They could have started
7
at
is prime enough.
Yeah.
7 is prime enough. Give me 7, please. I'm so tired of 8 o'clock games. Because the first game will be at 1, and I understand that you need to make time to be able to clean the ice and everything. But 8 o'clock is so late. I'm tired. Think of me. Think of me. Also, if you hear squeaking throughout the episode, it's my chair. It's been brought up to me by people that have watched in the past. They asked what the noise is. It's the chair. So if you hear squeaking and creaking, it's the chair. I apologize. I need a new one.
Well, at least we know it's not my hip going out. So the older man up here. So it's all good.
Yeah, but anything like that, it's the chair.
Absolutely.
But, USA Canada, they lost 3-2. I was upset about how the game ended, but I was happy for the game of hockey as a whole.
Absolutely.
A lot of people watched this game.
A lot
of people watched this game. 9.9 million viewers. 9.9 million people sat down and watched this game. And that's amazing.
It's really amazing. And just going by the TikToks, you can see the new fans and now like all these videos now are coming out like, oh, which team should I go for? And oh, who do you think I should root for now? It's really enlightening to see, especially with the way the NBA All-Star game weekend turned out. I mean, it really should give a boost to the ratings and just the popularity of the game. And that's, for me, that's a win-win right there.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And if people were interested in this game, they'll be super interested in the Olympics. We got that coming up next year. And we're not going to be devoid of international play for NHL players anytime soon. So if you enjoyed that, I mean, people will have stuff to keep watching, even if they're not too big on the NHL teams themselves, because I'm not. I'm not on my specific one.
Well,
we could get into it real quick. The Rangers came back from the break and they sucked so much and badly.
Brutal.
And
that
lot.
Was a brutal game. Brutal.
That was so bad. I sat down. I was like, "All right, we're back. We're getting ready. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about a good game against Buffalo." And it's 5-0 after 1. Igor looked like shit, and it wasn't even just him. It was everybody. Every single guy looked like garbage. Nobody was in the arena. Nobody was in the city. Nobody was in the state. It was so bad. Up and down the lineup, everybody behind the bench, in the press box. I don't care if you were playing or not, you sucked. 8-2 bomb.
To Buffalo, no less.
Bad. That is so bad. I wanted to cry. And then it felt like it was worse. You play Pittsburgh and it feels like it's so much worse. Did you see the shot totals in this game at all or no?
No, I didn't actually.
After 2 periods, Pittsburgh is out shooting the Rangers 32-9.
Jesus Christ.
I want you to guess the score.
I know the Rangers won. I think
They
what was it?
did
I think
win the game,
it was like
but
4-2. I think it was
it was 5-3 final.
5-3.
But
Okay.
after the second period, the Rangers are leading the game 2-1 after being outshot 32-9.
Oh my God.
About
Jesus.
over halfway through the second period, the last Ranger shot was the first goal they scored. Um, they only
Well,
won
at least,
that game because Pittsburgh sucks.
well, again,
It's
that's at least
so
getting your
bad.
shooting percentage up. Your shooting percentage should have gone way up in that game then.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the defense played good,
Sorta.
kinda, because it's
Kinda.
2-1 after it's 2-1 after two, and you win 5-3.
Yeah,
Like
but you know
that's
what though?
cool, I guess.
But at least you won that game because of Mr. Roadblock himself, what was it? The Mr. Pylon, hits one right off his ass right into the net, which was fantastic. Which it's not going to be as big as the butt fumble, but if they lose that game, that's probably a bigger story than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, the cool thing coming out of this game is that the dead man scored. Jimmy
There you
Vesey
go.
finally potted one. The dead
Yeah, I
man
saw that.
comes. Uh, JT Miller with two in this game, and he has been the best player for the Rangers since coming to the Rangers. And you're noticing his impact on this team up and down the lineup. I want to say in the 8 games that JT Miller's been a Ranger, Mika has 11 points now.
Okay.
But you don't notice that, and I think that's what I'm seeing. Like I'm never noticing Mika do anything. So I never want to believe that he's getting points like that, but I guess he is. I don't ever really notice it because they're all assists. He's still not scoring.
Right.
Like assists are as good as goals, but you're still not scoring.
If you
Nobody
get
on your lines are scoring.
right.
And then you go to play on Long Island, and I think the Islanders just kind of suck under Patrick Waugh.
Really, yeah.
Um, that game was brutal. Why is he scoring goals? We talked about it against Ottawa. We got to talk about it again. I'm tired of talking about it. Why is he scoring goals?
Because he's a force in front. Come on now.
It's a deflection.
That fourth line it's helped you guys so much in that game. I mean, you can't really crap on them.
Yeah, you can't. I'm not crapping on the fourth line. I'm crapping on Rempe.
I
Why are you
understand.
scoring goals? Stop. Brett
Just gonna
Berard
make him more
deserves to be on
popular.
this team. I don't want him to be more popular. I want him to be
want
in
him
the
to be more popular.
AHL.
I love him. I think he's great.
No, God, I thought he was gonna get kicked out of the game because he had a bad hit.
Yeah,
I thought
saw
he was
that.
gonna get kicked out of that game too. So good that you scored, but I mean, you let up 2 from Johnny Brodzinski. How dare you? This was a felony. This was terrible.
This is really terrible.
3 points from Uro Vakanainen. What's going on? None of these guys could. Vakanainen was at 4 Nations. He couldn't do anything.
No.
This
I think
is
I
terrible.
once in the whole tournament.
This is terrible.
It,
Like
it's not good from either side. I mean, it's an embarrassment for the Islanders,
I just don't understand. Like, cool, you won the way you did, but where was that a couple nights earlier when you got shelled 8-2?
Exactly.
I want to know where this effort was. And then you lose your best defenseman. Who knows how long Fox is going to be out? This is just getting worse every time you think it's starting to get better. Man. And then we have to play without Adam Fox. So you're probably going to see like Keandre Miller, Ryan Lindgren top pair, because go fuck yourself.
Right, exactly.
against Toronto. You have to play the Leafs. So now you have to try to get another 2 points because you can't keep losing games now. We're at a point
Right,
where we're past all that. You need to win out to even sniff the playoffs, even though you're right there.
right.
And now you have to play Toronto without your best defenseman. This is good. It's rough. It's rough
It's
out
gonna
here,
be rough for
guys.
you. It's
It's
really gonna be a
rough.
rough. It's really gonna be a rough one for you. At least the game is home though. So
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
guess.
I mean, there you go without saying. You got the home crowd. See what happens. I mean, like I said, you never know. I mean, miracles could happen.
Yeah,
uh, Unlike that
sure.
miracle last night. Oh, what was that? You texted me this morning, and I was like,
Nate
you are
Dogg,
so
baby.
right.
You thought you had a Nate Dogg? Nah, Colorado
Oh
has him. What are
no,
we doing?
how? Oh my God.
I was disgusted by the first goal.
So was I. Oh
I
my
was
God.
disgusted by the first goal and then the second one. The amount of times I watch a hockey broadcast and they show that angle from behind the net up high, and it's just like, God, it would be so cool to see somebody score while they're on that angle. And then it's that. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Come, come on.
Yeah, it was brutal last night.
That,
But
yeah.
whew, but again, that's when you go against one of the world, you gotta and too many penalties, too many penalties. You're giving them too many chances on the power play. I mean, with that kind of lineup on a power play, I mean they have a really good penalty kill, but you know they're gonna take the advantage of their opportunities, and that's what they did last night. And then the bottom just fell out in the third. So again, our problem right now is like we're not getting scoring from anybody except for that first line of Hughes and Bratt. That's really what's going on. I mean, that's who's scoring right now, and it's got to come from the bottom six. They have not scored. Jocelyn Mercer has looked terrible. I mean, Eric Hollis looked ridiculous, and again, he's another one. We go back to the Four Nations. He was not noticeable in any of those games, and it's becoming now. It's coming. We're coming up to the trade deadline. It's a real question of do you want to give up some picks and prospects to improve this team? And I feel like right now you're gonna have to find
Yeah,
not a big deal, but you're gonna have to find some third, fourth line guys, some plug-in guys that are good for this system and good for the locker room right now. And
I
that's what we're looking at right now.
I think a player that should be looked at in terms of getting moved from this team, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I have not seen anything worth of keeping Andre Palat on this team.
Said the only thing he's getting from this is he's teaming with Bratt and Hughes right now. I mean, if you
But
put him
even
on any other line,
is that even that good to have? I mean, I feel like
it's
you can have a
not.
better right winger. I
You
mean, even
can.
just in one of the highlights that they showed from the game last night, Palat was at the blue line, just kind of pushed the puck with nothing, turns
Right.
it
Yeah.
right over, it's turned right back up the ice for a shot on.
Right.
That's not what you should be getting from your top line. Not when it's going to be bogging down your two of your three guys that can score.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't even know what you'd get at that point because I don't feel like you get much back for
No.
Palat,
And the
who's
con-
old and
and
is
the
probably
and the
making too much
contract
money.
and the contract is again, you're gonna have to either retain money or something on that contract because right now that's one of the worst contracts that we've signed in a long time. And I mean, I like the guy personally. I like his game, but it's just not working right now. And he is getting older, so he's not at prime right now. He's on the bottom third of his career, and it's just not working out. I mean, locker room wise, it might, but on the ice, it just seems like he's, especially with that top line, he always seems like he's like a step or two off of them. I mean, like I said, but again, it's a group thing. We're getting scoring from our top two guys, and that's all it seems like it is. I mean, with Nico Hischier, he just got back from his oblique injury, right at the beginning of the Four Nations break right here against when he played against Dallas the other night. Which again, another problem is we're going back to the same thing as last year. We're not getting the first goal of the game, and it's just getting frustrating. I mean, you're coming back from Four Nations, you're at home, the crowd is hyped, Jack's a friggin' American hero, and 6 minutes in, you're down 2-0 to Dallas, and the building is just deflated. And that's where, like I said, we need, more than just that first line to start going. It really is getting to a point where it's like, there's got to be I made excuses the whole season because they've been really good this whole season. They've been, a top 10 team this season, but right now, I mean, I feel like they're just holding on right now for dear life. And like I said, a trade of some kind, a move of some kind would really help this team. And like I said, I'm not talking about sell the farm for somebody that's going to, is just a rental. I mean, a good solid, like I said, just a solid team player right now. Someone that can come in, and score, a big goal here and there, just somebody that a grinder, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, I don't even
I
know
feel
who
like
you could get at that point. Because, I mean, the Devils seem to be in on everybody and get nobody.
exactly. Yeah, they seem like they're always there. Well, again, it's more. I feel like, especially the reporting and stuff, it's more of a look at the team's need and then look at what they have to give up. I mean, the Devils do have a good farm system right now. With a couple of players that they could move in a big deal. But right now, I really wouldn't want to move some. Especially the young defensemen. I would not want to move them at all. Especially as Dougie gets up in age and these other guys are getting up in age now. We're gonna have to replace him at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, and I would like to see a Nemeth and Casey in our lineup in 2 or 3 years instead of a rental player or somebody just not as good as them.
So it's funny you actually bring up Seamus Casey. At his current NHL goal scoring pace, he has 4 goals on 9 shots for a 44.4% shooting percentage. If he took 3 shots per game, he'd score 108 goals in a season.
I love those stupid stats. That's like at the beginning of the season when somebody like scores a hat trick in the first game of the year and they're like, "Oh, well, they're going to average 300 and something goals this year." It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that
buddy.
it's not
Yeah, they are.
logical,
They're
but
going to score a hat trick every game with
exactly. Yeah, what is
multiple other points.
Yeah, this is like the old like school like NHL games and stuff where you could just max your player out and just score 1,000 goals a season.
Hell yeah,
it,
that's the best.
it is the best. We all know the thrills of jacking your player up to a 99 and then just dominating.
Yeah, well, it seemed like your team was at 99 overall the other night against Nashville.
Yeah.
5-0 5-0 game, 5-0 win.
Hmm.
Uh tell us about that. It seems like a pretty good bounce back win for a second half of a back to back with travel. That's a far trip after playing the night before at home.
Yeah. And again,
And
it was a 6 o'clock game too, so it was like I think it was 5 o'clock in Nashville time. So it was a less than a 24-hour pickup, and it was a really good game. I mean, like I said, but you could just tell. I mean, from my perspective, I was looking more at that was more of a Nashville situation because they look just old and slow. I mean, if you watched, I watched the whole game, and Nashville just looks. I don't know if it's the energy they're bringing or if they're just giving up on the season, but they just looked really slow and old, and the Devils were flying around them the whole game, which I appreciate coming off of the second half of a back to back. It was really nice to see. Like I said, getting the shutout too. I mean, they did score at the end, but it was disallowed. So Nico Dawes did get his official first NHL shutout, which was very good to see. We talked about Palat and Dougie Hamilton for the first time ever that two teammates got their 500th point on this same exact goal, which was
oh,
kind of
nice.
a cool NHL thing. They both got their 500th point. I think it was on the Jack Hughes goal. I think it was on. But yeah, like I said, it was a good team effort. They said the goaltending was phenomenal. Defense was really good. And like I said, you got gold scoring when it counted. And that's the kind of game that we were used to in the first part of the year. But like I said, I feel like it was more of a Nashville thing. Like I said, they really looked old and slow. And like I said, it's unfortunate for them because they were predicted to be a really good team this year, and that really just hasn't panned out at all.
I mean, who could have thought that spending a lot of money on guys that were pretty much only ever proven to be good on one team? Who would have thought that spending all your money on that would be, a winning formula? But
I know who, the New York Jets. They
fair
definitely,
enough.
they definitely do that.
You know
But
what? That's a good answer.
that's a good answer,
I
right?
can't even I can't
You can't
even
even,
laugh. That's a
you
good
can't even
answer.
bug that one.
Damn, damn I'm, okay. You know what?
I stunned you with that one. See,
Man,
damn.
I was not expecting that gun. Good for you.
Thank you
But
very much.
continuing on the road trip, you have a back-to-back coming up against Utah and Vegas.
Yep.
Uh Utah's looked good,
They looked really good.
and you kind of just know what you're getting out of Vegas, surprisingly. The fact that they have lost so much and are still near the top of the league every year is just kind of like amazing to me. Like,
And again,
they should
they
not be fourth in the league.
again, they're good. They're just a good, solid team. They're one of those. Again, that's a team where, like I said, they're always in contention for a cup, and it's really smart by the GM and the owner and everyone through that organization. I mean, they've just been solid since they've gotten into the league, and that's the way most teams should run their organizations, just the way they do. And I know a lot of people say, oh well, they play around with the long term injury reserve, and that's how they get their other
It's
players,
legal.
and it's legal.
It
Hey,
sucks, but it's legal.
if you don't like it, change the rules. I mean, that's the only thing I could tell you right now. If you don't like it,
And you can't
change the
change the
rules.
rules for one or two teams that are doing
Exactly.
LTIR in the NHL is the same fucking thing these idiots are babbling on about with the tush push.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, it's a legal play that two teams are good at. If all 32 were good at it, then I could see doing something about it. Not every team's best guys are getting hurt right before the playoffs or right before the trade deadline so they can make more money, so they can have more
Exactly.
money to get other guys. You saw it with Tampa, I guess, kind of, and then you saw it with Vegas. Who cares? They won. Sorry that your team wasn't good enough to. I don't know what you want me
Exactly.
to say. Uh, but looking at the standings with about 20 ish games left, the closest to the Devils in terms of teams in the wild card is Columbus. They are 6 points off. The Devils have 70 and the Blue Jackets have 64. Do you think that Columbus is going to be able to catch you guys for that third spot, or do you think you're pretty solid there?
Right now, again, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, we do have you know the light of Jacob Markstrom coming back. I mean, the goaltending has been really good. I mean, Jake Allen and Nico Dawes has been really good. I think I saw a stat on X where I think since Markstrom went down about, I think it was like 11 games ago, that the Devils were number one in save percentage, number one against goals expected average. I mean, so they both did a really good job. I mean, the last, especially as I said, the last couple of Jake Allen appearances has not been great, but like I said, we do have the perspective of Markstrom coming back, which is going to hopefully solidify the back end. Hopefully some of these guys can get jump started. Like I said, the third and fourth line guys need to step up right now, and it really is because we got to take some of the pressure off the superstars of this team. I mean, it's wonderful that they play the way they do, and I love seeing like their names at the top of the point standings and stuff. But it's about the team, and we got to get this team together. Columbus has played really well, and again, it's been an emotional year for them. So you know, I don't feel like I don't feel like they can catch the Devils. Maybe I don't think they're that good of a team, and they have had a couple injuries in the last like week or so. So, like I said, I feel like they're really in good. Columbus is really good contention for, like I said, that second wild card spot. Maybe their first, maybe the first one if they can climb over like a Detroit or something who's been really hot. Um, like I said, but right now I'm more focused on trying to catch Carolina. You know, try to get home
Okay.
advantage for that first round game for that first round series. I said that's more the perspective I'm at. I'm happy right where we are, but like I said, I would love to have a little tweakage right now here and
Just
there.
wait until the great Carolina fall off and you
Oh,
watch that team that's right underneath Columbus in the wild card standings decide to
oh,
be in that third spot, and we get an awful series.
oh God.
And we get the worst series of all time. All right, Gunk, would you be
Oh,
down for that?
oh yeah. If I'm thinking of the one you want, that'd be really really good payback for last year. Holy shit.
I mean, it'd be real quick and easy. It'd be
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a quick 4 games. I could be done for a week or two, and then we could talk about the Devils, and then we
Then
could
we
live
can
in
just
ignorant bliss until the draft, and then
there you
figure
go.
it out from there.
Hey, you know what though? If the Rangers can make a playoff spot, I mean,
I think that's all the momentum in the world for a St. Louis comeback story, and they do it.
that would be crazy.
That would be
But
that would
again,
be
we'll
indeed.
see that, especially with the trade deadline coming up. Rangers are always going to be a participant, so we'll see what kind of moves they make. Hey, they may make the right moves and make a little run. So that's what I'm hoping for with my team. I'm sure you're hoping with yours, bud.
Get rid of everybody, and we'll see what happens. Trade deadline is 10 days away,
He's
baby.
away. Can't
Cannot
wait.
wait. It's going to be a blast. But, gang, it's been a blast talking to you for the past half hour. It has been so much
Mhm.
fun. We love you. We can't wait to talk
Yep.
to you again next week. We'll have more Rangers and Devil stuff to talk about because that was not English. Gunk, I love you. Gang, we both love you.
We love you,
Take it
brother.
easy. Keep it cool. Keep it easy. Peace.
Peace, guys.